Welcome to our deep dive today.
Yeah.
We're going to be exploring how the world is becoming flat,
Right.
more interconnected and competitive,
More interconnected.
and what that means for you.
Absolutely.
Our guide for this deep dive is going to be The World is Flat
Oh, a great book.
by Thomas Friedman.
Yeah. So,
Friedman uses a lot of stories from his travels to really explain how this flattening is happening.
oh, interesting.
He starts with a trip to Infosys in India.
Okay.
So, Infosys, picture this, a global IT company
Okay.
where their whole supply chain is connected
Wow.
in real time
That's wild.
by technology.
Yeah.
And that's Infosys. And it just shows, how distance is shrinking.
So how did we get to this point?
Well, Friedman breaks globalization into 3 eras.
Okay.
So first we had countries globalizing.
Okay.
Think like 1492 to 1800.
Got it.
Then we had companies going global,
Okay.
1800 to 2000.
Makes sense.
And now it's individuals and small groups taking the world stage. So that's where we come in.
Yeah,
I feel like things are changing faster than ever.
exactly.
Like the pace of change
That's
is...
globalization 3.0.
Okay.
And Friedman actually pinpoints 10 specific flatteners that are driving it.
Oh, wow.
So you can think of these as events and trends
Okay.
that have really leveled the playing field.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What's the first flattener?
The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989.
Okay.
This event signaled the end of the Cold War,
Right.
and it opened up the world for collaboration. Suddenly, working together across borders
Yeah.
wasn't just possible,
Yeah.
it was becoming the norm.
Okay, so then came the internet.
Yes, August 9th, 1995,
Okay.
the day Netscape went public.
Netscape.
Wow.
I remember Netscape.
This marked the arrival of the internet and web browsing
For everybody.
for everyone. Before this,
Mhm.
information was much harder to come by.
Absolutely.
You'd have to rely on libraries,
Right.
physical books,
Uh-huh.
experts in the field. But Netscape changed all that.
Yeah.
Suddenly, information was at everyone's fingertips.
So crazy how much things have changed since then.
It is remarkable.
Yeah.
The internet, built on open protocols, allowed diverse computer networks to easily connect.
Right.
So data could flow freely around the world.
Well,
That's the foundation of the digital world you experience today.
wow.
So think back to the 80s and 90s,
Okay.
when companies were first computerizing.
Right.
They could automate tasks within a department.
Right.
But getting information between departments was still clunky,
Remember that? Yeah.
like printing out an order
Yep.
and walking it over to shipping.
Exactly.
But workflow software changed all that.
Okay.
It allowed different applications to talk to each other
Oh.
so they could communicate.
Right. So suddenly you could break down these complex tasks.
Yeah.
And send them anywhere in the world.
Okay, that makes sense. And that brings us to uploading.
So the internet allowed individuals to become creators and collaborators on a global scale.
Right.
I mean, open source software.
Yes.
And platforms like Wikipedia are great examples.
Great examples.
Yeah.
Let's take the example of Apache, the web server.
All right.
This was a group of web developers who were frustrated with existing tools.
Right.
And they decided to use open source code to create something better.
Wow.
And they shared their modifications with the world.
So instead of competing, they collaborate
Exactly.
to make something amazing.
And the results were incredible.
Yeah.
Even IBM recognized the value of this approach
Yeah.
and incorporated it into their strategy.
Yeah.
And this spirit of collaboration
Yeah.
wasn't limited to software,
Right.
Wikipedia,
Right.
where anyone can contribute.
It's amazing how accurate Wikipedia is.
Right. It shows us the power of collective knowledge.
It's really cool.
So despite being open to edits from anyone,
Uh-huh.
it's surprisingly accurate.
Yeah.
And it's a testament to the power of peer review
Right.
and a self-governing community.
So we've got these first 4 flatteners: the fall of the Berlin Wall, the rise of the internet workflow software and uploading.
Right.
And it feels like these are paving the way for a truly global playing field.
Absolutely.
But how did businesses react to these massive shifts?
Well, that leads us to the next 2 flatteners,
Okay.
outsourcing and offshoring.
Okay.
So companies saw that they could break down tasks
Uh-huh.
and send them to the most efficient provider wherever they were in the world.
So it didn't matter where they were.
Exactly.
If they were the best.
And offshoring took this a step further by moving entire operations to lower-cost locations.
So this had a huge impact on manufacturing.
Huge.
Think about the rise of China as a manufacturing powerhouse.
Right. China's entry into the WTO in 2001 was pivotal.
Okay.
Suddenly, companies had access to this huge, lower-cost workforce.
Right.
And this had a ripple effect across the global economy.
So allowed for lower prices for consumers.
Yes.
But also led to job losses in developed countries as factories moved overseas.
Exactly.
So it was good and bad.
This created a real challenge for companies.
Yeah.
Look at Asimco Technologies.
Okay.
This was an American company trying to build a manufacturing presence in China.
Uh-huh.
Their founder, Jack Perkowski, realized he needed a new generation of managers who understood both Western business and the Chinese context.
So it wasn't just about finding cheap labor.
It wasn't just about cheap labor.
It was about navigating this new global environment.
This new complex global environment.
Okay.
And the companies that adapted thrived.
So that takes us to supply chaining.
Yes.
Friedman illustrates this with a visit to Walmart headquarters.
Oh, yeah.
So
imagine this constant flow of goods from suppliers around the world, efficiently sorted and shipped to stores across the country.
So they took something so complex.
Walmart's success wasn't just about low prices. Right. It was about a revolution in supply chain management. Okay. They focused on minimizing inventory, streamlining logistics, and alongside technologies like RFID, this allowed them to respond to changes in demand with incredible speed and precision. So as the world flattened, Walmart took their supply chaining prowess global and leveraged their expertise to compete on an even larger scale.
So it's not just about making things cheaper.
It's not just about cheaper.
It's about making the whole process smarter and more responsive.
Now, the next flattener might seem a bit counterintuitive. Insourcing?
Insourcing.
Think of it as bringing in experts to handle specific functions of your business.
So instead of doing everything yourself, you're bringing in specialists.
Take UPS. Everyone knows them for delivering packages. But they've evolved into this sophisticated supply chain manager. So they handle logistics, warehousing, customer service, even returns processing for other companies.
So instead of building out those capabilities in-house, you're essentially renting expertise from companies like UPS.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's insourcing.
It's insourcing.
And this brings us to informing.
Yes.
So with powerful search engines like Google, we have access to a vast amount of information at our fingertips.
This is where individuals really get empowered.
Oh, interesting.
We're no longer reliant on traditional gatekeepers of information.
Like journalists or academics?
Like journalists, academics. We can become our own experts.
On any topic?
On any topic that interests us.
Yeah, it's like having a personal research assistant in our pocket.
Exactly. Google processes billions of searches a day.
It's amazing.
Making information accessible in over 100 languages.
Wow.
This has democratized information in a way that's impacting everything from education and healthcare to politics and activism.
Wow, that's powerful.
So we've got these 9 flatteners changing how companies operate, how we access information.
Yeah.
What's the final piece of the puzzle?
I'm ready. What is it?
Friedman calls it the steroids.
The steroids.
These are technologies that amplify all the other flatteners, so making everything faster, more mobile, and more personalized.
Okay, so what are these steroids exactly?
First, wireless technologies.
Okay.
We take them for granted now.
Wi-Fi.
But Wi-Fi and mobile internet have liberated us from physical wires.
Yeah.
We can connect from almost anywhere.
It's amazing.
Then there's digital storage.
Okay.
It's incredibly cheap and compact now.
It's crazy how much you can carry around on your phone.
We can carry vast amounts of information on our phones and access it instantly. And finally, advancements in computing power and file sharing make moving information around the world faster and easier.
So that's stuff like video conferencing and file compression.
Video conferencing, file compression.
Voice over internet protocols.
Voice over internet protocols, they've all revolutionized how we communicate and collaborate.
It's hard to imagine life before smartphones.
And these steroids supercharge the other flatteners, taking everything to the next level.
So they've created a world where distance and time
Exactly.
are becoming less relevant.
Yes.
We can work, learn, and connect with people around the world as if they were right next door.
Exactly.
So we've got these 10 flatteners creating this new landscape.
Yes.
But Friedman takes it even further with the concept of a triple convergence.
It does.
So what exactly is this convergence?
So this is where Friedman ties it all together.
Okay.
He argues that the 10 flatteners have converged with two other major shifts to create a truly new landscape.
Okay.
The first is the rise of new players on the global stage.
Okay.
Think about China, India, and the former Soviet Union. They're entering the global economy with unprecedented force.
So it's like adding billions of new players to the game.
The second convergence is the development of new habits and processes for horizontal collaboration.
Okay.
So companies and individuals aren't just working within their own silos anymore.
Right.
They're connecting and collaborating across borders and industries in ways never before imaginable.
So it's not just about the technology itself.
It's not just about the technology.
It's about how we're using it.
It's how we're using it.
To connect and work together in fundamentally new ways.
Absolutely. And this triple convergence, new players, a new playing field, and new collaborative habits has created a world of incredible opportunity, but also unprecedented disruption.
Wow. So we've laid out the what of the flat world.
We have.
But what does it actually mean for individuals and societies?
That's the key question.
What are the implications of all of this?
Right.
And how should we prepare for the challenges and opportunities ahead?
And that's one we'll dive into next.
Okay.
One thing is certain, though.
What's that?
The flat world demands a new level of adaptability.
Okay.
The old model of,
get an education.
Getting an education.
Work a stable job.
Working a stable job for decades.
For decades.
Is fading fast.
So job security as we knew it is disappearing.
In many ways, yes.
Wow.
The flat world means constant change.
Right.
Those who can't adapt and learn new skills will struggle.
So companies and entire societies need to embrace this mindset.
Absolutely.
Friedman also mentions the great sorting out.
He does.
What does that mean?
It refers to how traditional political and economic categories are being challenged.
Right.
It's not a simple division between left and right or developed and developing countries anymore. The old lines are blurring.
Right.
We need new ways to understand and navigate this complex landscape.
So the flat world is forcing us to rethink our assumptions.
It is.
And find new solutions to global issues, like income inequality.
Yes.
And the impact of globalization on local communities.
Absolutely. It's a time of great change and upheaval.
Yeah.
But also one of incredible possibility.
We've certainly covered a lot of ground so far.
We have.
But it feels like we're just getting started.
We are.
There's so much more to explore about how to navigate this new world.
There is.
And what it means for all of us.
What it means for you.
Stay with us as we continue our deep dive into The World is Flat.
Yes. Welcome back. As we continue exploring The World is Flat, it's important to remember that this new landscape isn't all sunshine and roses.
Right.
While it offers amazing opportunities, there are also some serious challenges we need to consider.
Yeah, it feels like we're standing at a crossroads.
I think that's a great way to put it.
On one hand, incredible potential.
Yeah.
For connection and collaboration.
Absolutely.
But on the other, some real anxieties about what this means for individuals and societies.
Exactly. One of the most pressing challenges is income inequality. The benefits of globalization haven't been distributed evenly.
Right.
Some are reaping huge rewards, while others are struggling to keep up.
It's like some people boarded the Globalization Express train.
Yeah.
While others are stuck at the station.
That's a good way to put it.
Unable to even get on board.
The flat world creates intense competition.
Okay.
And not just between companies, but between workers, too.
Right.
So those with in-demand skills and adaptability can thrive.
Right.
But those in jobs that are, easily automated or outsourced face a much tougher reality.
Friedman talks about the too sick and the too frustrated.
Yes, he does.
What does he mean by that?
These are groups that are often excluded from the benefits of globalization. He argues that these groups can actually become breeding grounds for instability.
I see.
So the too sick are trapped in poverty.
Okay.
They lack access to health care, education, and even just basic infrastructure.
So they're left behind in this new world.
They're left behind.
And the too frustrated.
So they see the opportunities that globalization offers.
Okay.
but they feel excluded,
Right.
they might lack the skills or resources to participate, which can lead to resentment and disillusionment.
That's totally understandable.
Mm.
You know, if you see other people benefiting
Absolutely.
while you struggle, you're going to be frustrated.
It's crucial to recognize that the flat world can worsen existing social and economic divisions, potentially leading to instability and conflict.
So how do we address that? I mean, it feels like such a massive problem.
It requires thoughtful policies that promote inclusive growth.
Okay.
We need to create opportunities for everyone to participate in the global economy.
Right. Not just a select few.
Not just a select few.
Along with inequality.
Yes.
There are also concerns about globalization's impact on the environment.
Absolutely.
So more production and consumption often lead to increased pollution.
Right.
Depletion of natural resources.
That's a critical point. The flat world's emphasis on efficiency and cost cutting sometimes comes at the expense of the environment.
Right. It feels like a race to the bottom.
It can.
Where the environment loses out.
Companies may be tempted to cut corners on environmental regulations.
Right. Or move production to places with weaker standards.
Exactly. We need to find ways to balance the economic benefits of globalization with environmental protection.
So what can we do?
Well,
are we just supposed to accept these downsides?
Not at all.
As the cost of progress?
No, we need a multifaceted approach.
Okay.
So international agreements and regulations are crucial for promoting sustainable practices.
Okay.
But it also comes down to consumers making informed choices.
So we have a part to play too.
Absolutely.
It's not just about governments and big businesses.
Consumers are increasingly aware of the environmental impact of their choices.
Right.
And companies are starting to recognize this.
Yeah.
Friedman points to companies like McDonald's,
who partnered with Conservation International to make their supply chains more sustainable.
So even a company as big as McDonald's.
Even a company as big as McDonald's.
Is taking concrete steps towards sustainability.
It shows that positive change is possible.
Okay, that's encouraging.
Even within large corporations.
So consumers can drive this change.
They can.
By supporting companies that are making responsible choices.
Exactly. Now, Friedman also talks about fostering a more hopeful imagination.
Okay.
He's arguing that the future isn't set in stone. We have the power to shape it.
I like that it's easy to get bogged down in all the doom and gloom.
It is.
And the anxieties, but we need that sense of optimism.
Yes.
That we can shape a better future.
He encourages us to move beyond fear and anxiety about change and embrace a more optimistic and collaborative approach to solving global challenges.
That's about seeing the potential.
It's about seeing the potential.
Not just the problems.
Not just the problems. He uses the example of JetBlue's founder, David Neeleman. Okay.
So instead of focusing solely on profits, Neeleman prioritized customer satisfaction and employee empowerment.
So he believed a more humane and collaborative work environment would lead to innovation and excellence.
Exactly. It's not just about embracing technology. It's about embracing a more humanistic, collaborative approach to business as well.
So it's about finding that balance.
Yes.
Being aware of the challenges.
Absolutely.
But not letting them paralyze us.
Not letting them paralyze us, approaching the future with a sense of possibility.
Exactly. Friedman also emphasizes the importance of education.
It does.
In navigating the flat world.
He criticizes traditional rote learning approaches. Arguing that, they don't equip students for a world of rapid change.
It's like teaching someone to drive looking only through the rearview mirror.
That's a great analogy.
You need to be prepared for what's ahead.
Right.
Not just what's already passed.
He advocates for an education system that emphasizes critical thinking, problem solving, and adaptability.
So skills like collaboration, communication, cultural awareness. All those things that you need to succeed.
The skills needed.
In a globalized world. So it's about equipping students with a broader set of skills.
It is.
And a mindset. That embraces lifelong learning.
We need an education system that prepares students.
Yeah.
Not just for their first job, but for a lifetime of changing careers and opportunities.
Right, because that first job might not even exist in 10 years.
This requires a shift in thinking from educators, parents, and policymakers.
So Friedman also points to the power of platforms like eBay.
He does.
He sees it as a microcosm.
Of
a successful flat world. Where trust and collaboration allow individuals to connect and reach their potential.
He highlights how eBay has built this self-governing community where people from all walks of life can interact and achieve their goals. And this demonstrates the power of connecting across borders and cultures in a positive and productive way.
It sounds like an example of the flat world working as intended.
In many ways, yes. He also discusses how India, with its large Muslim population, hasn't experienced the same level of radicalization and extremism seen in other parts of the Muslim world. He partly attributes this to India's secular constitution and the opportunities it provides for economic advancement.
So it sounds like he's suggesting that inclusivity and opportunity can be powerful forces against extremism.
He argues that in societies where Islam exists within a more open and democratic framework, Muslims have a greater chance to participate in the mainstream, reducing the appeal of extremist ideologies.
So it's not just about religious beliefs.
It's not just about religious beliefs.
It's about the social and economic context in which those beliefs are practiced.
That's a key insight. Creating more inclusive and democratic societies is crucial for mitigating extremism and building a more peaceful and prosperous world.
But Friedman doesn't shy away from the darker side of the flat world.
He doesn't.
He recognizes the potential for conflict and instability.
Yes, especially in regions excluded from globalization's benefits. Or where resources are scarce. He points to the dangers of Islamo-Leninism.
Islamo-Leninism.
It's this radical ideology that combines Islamic extremism with Leninist revolutionary theory.
So a perversion of the collaborative potential.
It is.
Of the flat world, using its tools to spread a message of hate and division.
He sees al-Qaeda as a prime example of this ideology in action, pointing out how the 9/11 attacks leveraged the very tools of globalization, technology, communication, travel to achieve their horrific goals.
It's a chilling reminder that the same forces connecting us can also be used for destructive purposes.
Absolutely. Friedman's analysis underscores the need to be vigilant in addressing the root causes of extremism and preventing the misuse of globalization's tools.
It's a stark reminder that a flattened world isn't a utopia.
It's not a utopia.
It's a complex landscape with both opportunities and dangers.
It demands a new level of awareness, adaptability, and a commitment to building a more just and sustainable future.
So far, we've explored the what and the why of the flat world.
We have.
Now the question becomes, what do we do about it?
That's exactly what we'll explore in the final part of our deep dive.
All right, let's do it.
Stay with us as we delve into practical strategies for navigating this new world and shaping a more positive future.
We've explored the forces flattening the world, the incredible opportunities, and the very real challenges. Now, the big question, what do we do with all this? How do we navigate this new world and create a future we can all be excited about?
Friedman offers a roadmap. He calls it compassionate flatism.
Compassionate flatism.
And it's all about balancing policies that make us more competitive globally with measures to protect those who might struggle with this rapid change.
I like the sound of that. It feels like we need both a strong economy and a system that supports everyone. But how does this actually work? What are the key ingredients?
He breaks it down into 5 areas. Leadership muscle building, cushioning social activism, and nurturing a hopeful imagination.
Let's unpack that. First up, leadership. What kind of leadership does the flat world need?
We need leaders who get it. Leaders who understand this new landscape and can articulate a clear vision for how to thrive in it. We need leaders who can inspire us to embrace change, invest in education, and build a future that works for everyone.
It makes me think of JFK's challenge to put a man on the moon.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't just about space exploration. It was about pushing a nation to embrace science, technology, and innovation.
Exactly.
It was about aiming high.
That's a great example. We need that kind of bold leadership. Leaders who set ambitious goals, who rally us around a shared purpose and think long-term beyond short-term political gains.
So visionary leadership is crucial.
Yes.
What about muscle building? What does that entail?
This is all about what Friedman calls lifetime employability.
Lifetime employability.
It recognizes that job security as we once knew it is fading. And individuals need to constantly adapt and upgrade their skills to stay relevant.
It's like in a video game. If you don't level up your skills, you'll get left behind.
Exactly. Governments and businesses need to invest in programs that help people develop the skills they need for this new world.
Okay.
So a major focus on education training and lifelong learning.
Friedman's a big advocate for making higher education and technical training more accessible, right?
He is.
To equip people with the skills to compete in a globalized job market.
Absolutely. And he emphasizes fostering a culture of lifelong learning.
Right.
We should be encouraged and supported in continually developing our skills and knowledge throughout our careers.
It's about realizing that learning doesn't stop after graduation.
Exactly.
It's an ongoing process.
We need to make it easier for people to transition between jobs and careers.
Okay.
Provide retraining support and promote things like portable pensions and healthcare benefits that aren't tied to a single employer.
Okay, so muscle building is about empowering individuals to adapt and thrive in this dynamic job market.
That's it.
What about cushioning? That sounds intriguing.
This recognizes that globalization creates winners and losers. And we have a responsibility to support those who are struggling to adapt.
Okay.
It's about providing a safety net.
A cushion? For those facing economic hardship.
Exactly. It's about making sure that no one gets left behind.
So Friedman suggests things like unemployment insurance, robust job training programs, even wage insurance.
Yes.
To help people get back on their feet and adapt to new opportunities.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that change can be disruptive and providing support for people during those transitions.
And crucially, it's about ensuring everyone has access to healthcare education, basic social services.
Yes.
Regardless of their job status.
Right. The goal is a system that provides a safety net without creating dependency.
Okay.
One that empowers people to be self-sufficient and contribute to the economy.
So we've got strong leadership setting the course.
Right.
We're helping individuals build muscle to adapt.
And
we're providing a cushion for those who are struggling.
Yes.
What about social activism?
Okay.
What role does that play in the flat world?
This is about recognizing that we can't just rely on governments and businesses to solve these complex challenges.
We need active and engaged citizens who are willing to hold corporations accountable, advocate for change.
Absolutely.
And work together to build a better future.
It's about realizing that we have a voice and we can use it to shape the world we want to live in.
Think about the environmental movement. Pressure from citizens and NGOs has driven significant progress on issues like pollution and climate change.
Huge progress.
So Friedman believes that social activism can be a powerful force for good in the flat world.
A powerful force.
Driving positive change from the grassroots up.
From the grassroots up, it's about people coming together, recognizing shared concerns, and demanding action.
And finally, we come to nurturing a hopeful imagination.
Yes.
This might sound a bit abstract.
It might.
But it's central to Friedman's vision.
It is.
I get it. It's easy to get bogged down in the doom and gloom.
Right.
We need a sense of optimism.
We do.
A belief that we can shape a better future.
We need to cultivate a more optimistic and forward-looking perspective, one that embraces the incredible possibilities of the flat world, while also tackling its challenges in a constructive way.
So it's about choosing hope over fear.
Choosing hope over fear, Friedman stresses the importance of fostering a global mindset, seeing ourselves as part of a larger interconnected world, and embracing the diversity of cultures and perspectives.
So he sees that as crucial for navigating the complexities of the flat world.
Absolutely. He believes that by nurturing a hopeful imagination, we can overcome fear and anxiety about change and build a future where everyone has the chance to thrive.
Okay, so Friedman's compassionate flatism is a pretty comprehensive approach.
It is.
It's about strong leadership, empowering individuals, providing support for those in need, promoting active citizenship, and cultivating a sense of hope and possibility.
It's a framework that recognizes both the immense opportunities and the real challenges of the flat world. It's a call to action for individuals, businesses, and governments to work together to create a world where everyone can thrive.
This all sounds great in theory, but how does it translate to my life? What can I do as an individual to navigate this new world and make the most of it?
Well, Friedman offers some practical advice.
Okay, ready.
First, embrace lifelong learning.
Okay.
The world is changing rapidly. And the skills you have today might not be enough for tomorrow.
So invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself.
Constantly be learning and growing.
Second, cultivate a global mindset.
Okay.
Be open to new ideas and perspectives from different cultures.
Right.
Connect with people from around the world, whether through travel, online communities, or simply engaging with diverse viewpoints.
So it's about recognizing that we're all interconnected.
We are.
And that we can learn from each other.
Third, become an active and engaged citizen.
Okay.
Use your voice, advocate for the changes you want to see.
Right.
Support organizations working on the issues you care about.
Yeah.
Hold those in power accountable.
So it's about taking ownership of our future.
Yes.
Individually and collectively.
And finally, nurture your own hopeful imagination.
Okay.
Don't get bogged down by pessimism or fear.
Right.
Embrace the possibilities of the flat world and work to create the future you want to see.
That's a powerful message.
It is.
It's a reminder that the future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we create.
Friedman leaves us with one final question.
Oh, okay.
What will happen when the world is flat? And anyone can collaborate with anyone for constructive or destructive purposes.
That's a question that makes you think.
It does.
We have these incredibly powerful tools at our disposal.
We do.
Technology, communication, collaboration.
Right.
But how we use them.
Exactly.
Whether we choose to build or destroy.
That's up to us.
That's up to us. It's a call to action.
It is.
To use the forces of the flat world for good, to build bridges instead of walls.
To build bridges instead of walls.
And to create a future defined by collaboration, innovation, and shared prosperity.
That's what we mean.
This wraps up our deep dive into The World is Flat. We hope this exploration has provided you with a deeper understanding of this complex and rapidly changing world. Remember, the future is not predetermined. We all have a role to play in shaping a more just, sustainable, and prosperous future for all